Want to know a secret? Sometimes you're going to have a great group meeting. You'll feel exhilarated and excited, like, wow, what I'm doing is making a difference. And sometimes you're going to have a group, and by the time it's over, you don't even have the words. You just sigh and say, I guess I'll clean up. What's the difference? What happened? Chances are that groups that went best involve great participation, interaction, and meaningful discussion. Great discussion in your group helps people feel more connected, and great discussions use meaningful questions to help people grow. If you're not convinced, here's a project for you. Go back to the Gospels right at the beginning of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Go and count the times that Jesus asked people questions. Spoiler alert, it's over 300 times. So why not lead a group like Jesus and ask questions? Group leaders need to ask great questions and create thought-provoking discussions. Here are 5 simple tips to help cultivate meaningful discussions in your group. Number 1, be curious. One of people's biggest fears is the fear of looking or sounding dumb. Maybe it's the fear of asking a question that will make it seem like they don't understand the Bible. Group discussions can be intimidating. As the leader, lead the way and be curious for them. Ask the questions that they're thinking. For me, when there is a complicated verse, I think about what and how questions to ask. This is important because why questions come across skeptical. Here's an example. Maybe you're reading Luke and Jesus tells the disciples to love their enemies. What if you asked, how can you love an enemy? What does that look like practically? Which is a perfect lead into the next tip. Number 2, embrace awkward silence. For some of us, this is tough. But as a leader, don't just accept awkward silence, embrace it. Sometimes a question needs some time for reflection. And because people are wired differently, some process out loud verbally, so they'll respond quick, while some process internally and need to be waited on. Avoid the temptation to answer your own question when it's silent. When this happens to me, I'll pause and maybe repeat the question. Sometimes someone will ask me to explain it a little more, but avoid filling in those moments of silence. God could be stirring up something in someone's heart. Number 3, thank you for sharing. Your group should be a place where people feel like they have a voice. Authenticity is really hard to cultivate. So when someone opens up about something serious and shares something vulnerable, or when someone who is usually quiet and doesn't talk much finally opens up to the group, make eye contact with them and say these words. Thank you for sharing. It sounds sort of cheesy, but I promise, genuinely thanking people when they share reinforces a culture of trust and helps foster greater authenticity. All right, 3 down, 2 more to go. But good news, the last 2 are acronyms. The 4th tip is the awe question. The question is easy, memorable, and it will pay dividends in your group discussion. The awe question, and what else? Asking this question carries on the conversation. It shows a willingness for multiple people to share ideas and provides an open door for more people to join in. You don't just have to use it once. Sometimes you can ask the question a couple of times to get people involved in the discussion. The 5th and the final tip is the WIN questions. WIN stands for what is next and who is next. In groups, we want people to be like Jesus and to tell other people about Jesus. Practically speaking, this looks like asking the question, who is next and what is next? Those 2 questions help to bring the discussion from a world of ideas into reality. People in your group can think about the present circumstances and have a vision for their future. We want to create a culture where people love God, they love people, and they discover their purpose and they win the world. And it can start by asking the people in your group, what is next?